Okay, our last presenter this evening is Acasti Pharma. It has only been a client for a few months, but it's well known to us and perhaps to some of you in this room. Its parent company with a 60% ownership interest is Neptune Technologies and Bioresources. And Dr. Tina Sampalis presented on behalf of Neptune last year, and now she's going to be presenting as president of Acasti this year. Neptune is the developer of compositions and processes involving that tiny sea creature known as krill. If krill was a jet aircraft, the krill oil was a jet aircraft, fish oil would be propeller driven. So she's going to talk about the differences between the krill and fish oil and the associated benefits. While Neptune's focused on the nutraceutical business, you know, the gel caps you get at the health stores, Costco, any number, and it's really growing into the U.S. now, Acasti's goal in life is to develop a pharma-grade, fully natural, non-toxic, highly effective treatment for cardiovascular diseases. Could a natural way be only a few years away for dramatically boosting the good cholesterol and cutting the legs out from under the bad stuff, the LDL? Neptune and by association Acasti were recently granted a patent in the U.S. for the novel omega-3 fatty acid compositions. And Dr. Sampalis is going to explain more as to why that's important. But think of it this way, it's a little like getting the patent for foundations covering all building structures. That'd be fair representation? Okay. I just made that up as a layman. Thank you. While Neptune's base business is growing nicely with more than $16 million in sales in fiscal 11, their year end is February, Acasti presents the potential for very, very large blue sky. Check out a company called Amarin, which Dr. Sampalis may refer to. It's a U.S.-listed company that's focused, and they're now in phase 3. It's a fish oil. They've just had some patent issues, but even in the midst of their phase 3 studies and some of these patent items that have come up, it still has a market cap in excess of $1 billion, and it was well through $2 billion. Such is the desire for this whole area of finding the Holy Grail. And with that, Tina, Dr. Sampalis, President of Acasti Pharma, and also I'd like to introduce Xavier Holland, who is the Chief Financial Officer at the back of the room. They're in from Montreal as of this morning. Tina?
Thank you.
Forward.
Yeah, got it. Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity once again this year to be here, but for the first time to talk to you solely about Acasti Pharma, the subsidiary of Neptune Technologies and Bioresources, which I talked to you about last year. So not too far from what has been our goal, our target, our dream since the beginning with our CEO and president in Neptune, Henry Harland. However, a little bit of a different trend in doing things. So I'll talk to you about that, and I hope that you find it interesting. I am given a real difficult task to talk without moving, so I will try my best, Grant, I do promise, but I don't know how I'm going to do finally, but I will try my best. So, without further ado, okay. Acasti Pharma, like Grant correctly said, has the task of developing pharmaceutical products, active pharmaceutical ingredients from a natural biomass, and specifically from the naturally sourced raw material that we get from our mother company, Neptune Technologies. Our goal is to develop these pharmaceuticals, purify them, standardize them to the standards that are expected and should be respected for pharmaceutical products, and then provide them to the world for cardiovascular and cardiometabolic disorders. Acasti was founded in 2008 as the subsidiary of Neptune Technologies and Bioresources, only 10 years after the founding of Neptune, which was in 1998. We are very fortunate because we are the exclusive licensees worldwide of Neptune's patents that deal with the pharmaceutical use, compositions, and development of products that deal with cardiovascular and cardiometabolic disorders. So we do have an interesting patent portfolio that we will go into more detail of in a little bit. We have full access to Neptune's manufacturing facility, and that is extremely important, believe me. Being with Neptune since day one for the last 14 years of my life, I know what it means to have this experience in actually dealing with such an amazing, nevertheless extremely difficult biomass as krill. The world that we are dealing with may seem very simple. Cholesterol, and everybody knows about cholesterol and what's so special. Nevertheless, it is a world that for many, many years has given a treatment gap to the pharmaceutical community. There's a lot of medications out there, and everybody knows about statins. Maybe some of you know about fibrates. I know that a lot of you know about omega-3s and big products in the United States, prescription omega-3s like Lovaza. However, what is very important to know here is that if we really want to reduce the probability of having a cardiovascular event, which could be anything from a stroke to a heart attack to just simple heart disease, myocardial infarction, it's not enough to just reduce cholesterol. You must reduce cholesterol, you must reduce the bad cholesterol, the LDL, you must reduce the triglycerides, but you must also increase the good cholesterol, the HDL. There is no drug today, nor natural product, that will actually do all this together in a very safe and effective manner. This is what we are targeting. This is what we have devoted our time and our energy to do, and we are hoping that we will be successful soon. Statins, as you know, reduce the bad cholesterol, LDL. Fibrates reduce, fibrates reduce triglycerides. Niacin, from a company called COS, was sold a few years ago for $3.7 billion to Abbott. Another natural product, as a matter of fact, vitamin B, increases HDL, but none of them touch anything else. Lovaza, prescription drug omega-3, $1.4 billion in sales last year, reduces triglycerides. Big side effect, increases LDL, but none of them do all three, the perfect trifecta. This is what Acasti is, this is what we are trying to do in Acasti. I always speak ahead of my slides, so you see it here again. Statins with a reduction of LDL, nevertheless, nothing offers what we call the perfect lipid trifecta, which is the name that we have given to our first clinical trial. It is called the trifecta trial. Competition in the market, of course, and that is a good thing. It means that we are not entering an unknown world. We don't need to start from scratch. It's a very good thing that this competition is here. It sets the groundwork for us. As I said, Lovaza, $1.2 billion in sale. It's a fish oil. It's an omega-3 fish oil, a concentrated omega-3 fish oil that has been approved by the FDA and is given by prescription in the United States. Amarin, a little bit newer kid in the block. They are in phase 3 clinical trials right now. As a matter of fact, they have just completed one of their 2 phase 3 clinical trials. They were valued at $4 billion. A little bit of problems with their patents, and now they're valued at $2 billion. Nevertheless, an omega-3 fish oil, only an EPA, reduces triglycerides, does not touch LDL, does not touch HDL. And according to everybody out there, this is the best that exists in that stage of development. The fact that it will not increase LDL the way Lovaza does is a big thing. Enough to bring their company to our $4 billion valuation. Why did they go down from 4 billion to 2 billion? Why is Lovaza losing track? Well, there's a few reasons, but one of the most important reasons is generics, the fear of generics coming in. Lovaza patents are coming to an end. Amarin is having problems with the US Patent and Trademark Office. Intellectual property in this world is extremely important. I'm sure in everybody's business, but in the pharmaceutical business, it is extremely important. We are very happy that our parent company got a patent granted recently for the composition and the use of the phospholipid and the omega-3, which is the main bioactive ingredient in the Amarin active pharmaceutical, in the Acasti active pharmaceutical ingredient. And this patent allows us a protection, even if we do nothing else, at least until 2025. Of course, it is not the way we are. We are going to do more. We are going to manage to extend this protection. We have a patent, again through Neptune, for the production of this product, the method for the process that we use, which will take us at least until 2020. There are other patents that are coming up for methods and use that will take us, we are hoping, if everything goes well, at least until 2025. And then there's the pharmaceutical composition and use patent that Acasti submitted that, if everything goes well, will take us to 2030. So we have a good and strong patent portfolio that we are working extremely hard to get stronger and stronger every day. Acasti's products, there's Capri, the prescription drug candidate, like Grant nicely referred to it, our blue sky. There's Onemia, a medical food. And just for those who are not familiar with the term medical food means that it is prescribed, recommended by a doctor, can only be given under a doctor's supervision in order for the doctor to be able to evaluate the patient while providing a nutrient that is necessary for the management of chronic disease. These are nutrients that have been shown to be depleted from the body and are the cause of chronic diseases. So it is an FDA-regulated product, recommended and supervised by physicians. And then there's Vectos, which is an over-the-counter product. This is Capri, improved lipid management. Where is Capri today? At what stage of its development? Well, last year I briefly touched on that, and I told you that we were just starting our first animal studies. Now I am very, very happy to tell you that we have already initiated 2 clinical studies. Both phase 2 clinical studies. One is a bigger study, a double-blind bigger study with placebo, 430 patients. The other one is a smaller open-label dose-ranging study, 174 patients. We are initiating our pharmacokinetic studies, and we are on our way for mid-2012 to submit so that we can continue with new studies in the United States, since these 2 studies now, or 3 studies I should say, are happening in Canada. So we are moving. We've been working extremely hard, and now we are a clinical study company. We have a very straightforward path. We start in Canada, we do our clinical studies, we complete our GLP toxicity. After having already completed our toxicity in our own lab, we complete our GMP manufacturing, which is there at a pilot scale. We just need to upscale it. We go to the United States and we do our pivotal studies that will hopefully bring us soon, one day, to an NDA. Hopefully sooner than what is the traditional route. From our precursor, we have a lot of certainty, not only for the safety of our drug candidate, but also for the efficacy. An efficacy that we've seen repeated in our animal models, an efficacy that allowed us to justify us going into this pharmaceutical world where we see that our bioactive ingredient, along with statins, is a lot more effective and allows people to reach their target levels, which is what is required in the lipid blood trifecta in order to eliminate, no, I shouldn't say eliminate, in order to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. This is the product that is already in the market. This is our medical food, Onemia, recommended by doctors who are seeing the results of Onemia day by day. They see their patients that were not doing well on statins, reducing triglycerides by 16%, reducing LDL, not increasing, not leaving alone, but actually reducing LDL by 58% and increasing HDL. The perfect blood trifecta that we were talking about is now being proven at a less potent product, which is our medical food. Another example, I'm not going to bore you with all the examples, how Grant is signaling me there, but another example, a patient on fibrates. Again, significant effects, achieving an overall lipid management. To get to a little bit of our finance, we have shares outstanding, 71 million, fully diluted is 80 million. We have about $9.2 million, $9.4 million in the bank. We recently completed a rights offering at 9.2 million. Cash at hand, 9.2, and we have analyst coverage by Roth Capital and Catalyst Research. I'm hoping this is going to look better. It's starting to head towards the right direction. There's some ups and downs. A lot of things are happening. However, we are hoping that next year when we are here, this is going to look a lot better, but we have a lot of objectives. We have a lot of work to do. We have to finish the clinical studies. We have to do the IND, get into the United States, do our clinical study in the United States. In the meantime, with the open label that we are doing, we are gathering real-life, day-by-day data that will allow us to structure our action plan and to make sure that no mistakes are done in order to lead us sooner than we hope so to an NDA. Our management, of course, our founder, the inventor of Niptin krill oil, the visionary that realized that there's something good in omega-3 phospholipids for the human health, involved in this project since the early 90s, Henry Harland. Nothing would be done without him. I'm lucky that he allowed me to join his team 14 years ago, and now I'm very lucky to be president of Acasti. And of course, Xavier Harland, who is I'm very proud, is our CFO. Pierre Lemieux, a PhD in pharmacology, Chief Operating Officer, and Dr. Harlan Waxel, a lot of great success history in the pharmaceutical world, has recently joined us as well. Thank you.